Hey guys, today we're going to be unboxing, testing, and reviewing this cordless vacuum by Inteture. Specifically, this is the BP20, and I do have to mention that they did kindly send this out to me for this review and test. This is a completely cordless vacuum, and I'm super excited to check this out. So what we're gonna do here is just go ahead and take everything out of the box and lay it out on the table here for you to see. All right, so here is everything. I'm gonna give you guys a real close look at every single piece here, starting off with some of the most important ones. So here is the motor, and here is the battery. The battery is a really large size, and it looks like it just slides on right here. We're gonna learn together. Looks like it goes on this way. So it looks like we want the round end up there to match the handle. Makes sense. So we're gonna go ahead and try to slide this on. What I like about their design here though is because of the battery being down there, you guys could rest it just like this. And then we have a built-in nozzle here. So if I want to go ahead and use this as is, I could press that trigger there. It already has some battery life in it, and then we could just use this nozzle that's built in to go ahead and do some cleaning. So we have the bristles there, and if we don't want the bristles, we could just use a normal tube. And then if that's not good enough, we could do even more. We could do the actual full rod attachment where we could also attach these accessories just like that. We even have this huge roller here that could be attached. This roller looks really nice too. So let me go ahead and try that out. And I love this red accent design that we have on all the items here. The way it is set up right now, it's not gonna be able to just balance on the battery because there's so much weight over here. But I do like the fact that we could set it down like this and it's not gonna topple over and stuff like that. So the bristles aren't quite as long as some of the other vacuums, but we do have this velvety material that goes along the entire edge here to help really seal in the suction, especially when the brush is rolling really fast. Some other vacuums will sling out some of the debris, but because of this brush here on the perimeter, it's gonna try to keep it all much more contained. The brushes do automatically clean themselves too. If you guys look inside of here, there's these teeth that the brush runs against every single loop, and that will help kind of get anything out of the bristles, and it'll just make it harder for it to actually get clogged up, and you'll just have to deal with it less. We do have a plastic sheet here that you guys do need to remove, just some protective film, and it's very thick, so go ahead and remove that because that will get dirty quicker than the actual plastic that they have on here. We do have very large wheels on here too, and they have like a rubber coating, so it's gonna be a little quieter on like a hardwood floor. I personally have tile, but I grew up in a house with wood floors, and I know how delicate it could be, and I would definitely trust this vacuum on that floor. So this head here could be rotated at some pretty harsh angles, so that's really impressive. We could go all the way up like this or all the way flat if you guys are trying to get under a couch. We do also have some LEDs there, and I'll definitely show you that closer in the testing portion, but that's always nice to see. All right, just a few more items to go over before we go to the test. We have the charger cable. It just has a standard DC jack. So that is what it looks like. We have a really long cable, and then you guys could charge it while it's mounted. So they give us this kit for mounting with all the hardware and a bag. So basically you guys could plug in your charger straight into here, it looks like. And when you mount this to the wall, it'll just kind of lock into place into there. So it will charge straight through here. You don't have to mess with plugging it in and out every single time because when you set it in, it automatically charges. Of course, we have a user guide, and then we have a brush cleaning tool. So if you guys do have some hair stuck on the roller, you guys could use this. We have the brush. And then I believe we already went over this attachment here, but this is really good to have, especially for getting in those corners or under furniture. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the actual dustbin. We're gonna press these two buttons here to release it, and that is what the rest of the machine looks like. So we have a bunch of filters in here that you guys will need to kind of maintain and clean over time. They give you a lot more detail on how to do all that in this user guide, but I'm gonna show you as much as I can here. So the filter part just gets removed very simply. You guys could easily wash the dustbin, and then we do have this rubber flap here. And this will just help ensure that debris doesn't fall back out of the dustbin and down this shaft here while you guys flip it upside down. So here's the actual filter taken out of the dustbin. I found out that you guys can remove the top part with the paper filter. So that's how you'd remove that part. Then the rest of this could be just washed by hand. But I would be careful with this section here with the paper filter. That doesn't like to get wet. Before you guys reinstall anything, make sure that it's all dry. Usually it takes about a day or two for it to dry. So just do it after a vacuum, time that you know that you won't need to vacuum again for a while. To put this back in, it's pretty easy. There's a little clip here, and you just line it up, push it in, and now you guys should be good to go to snap this back into the actual vacuum. So I think we are ready for the actual cleaning portion of this review. For now, we're gonna be testing it just like this. We're just gonna be using these bristles here, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and use the full setup with the roller and everything on the carpet there and the floor. So we're gonna make a pretty big mess here. We're gonna use some old peanut shells, and this stuff is really messy. We have a sample carpet here that we're gonna use, and I think this peanut just might be a little too big. We're gonna crush it up. So hopefully you guys could see this mess here. I think let's just do a little bit more. I'm pretty confident in this vacuum. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and extend the brush, and we're gonna clean this up just with this. When you guys turn it on, you guys have this screen. You guys have different modes all right there. We're gonna stay on medium. You know, I'm thinking I'm gonna kick it up to high. So let's go ahead and click it one more time. This isn't the best type of mess to be using this setup, but I just wanted to show you how good it does. So when you go to the high mode, it definitely reduces the power quicker. But if you guys are cleaning carpet, it is very helpful to get just a little bit extra power out of this device. So now we're gonna go ahead and just empty this all right back here. And we're gonna go ahead and use the roller brush this time and see just how good of a job it does. All right guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and test out the brush and the roller. We're gonna go ahead and put this onto the high mode as well. And we're gonna see how this does. It is pretty difficult to roll it on carpet on high, just because the suction power is so intense. Putting it on low right there seems to honestly help a lot. And even medium's pretty good on carpet. But when I go to high, the suction power is so intense that I actually have a hard time moving it. I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing either. I think there's just a time and a place to use that maximum mode. So I don't know if you guys could see that or hear it, but this thing has some serious suction power. So far, I am really impressed with the stick vacuum, especially being that it is all powered by this battery here. For being a battery powered vacuum, this thing does not lack power at all. So during all this testing, we are only at 85%. I will say using the high mode definitely reduced the power quick, but just being at the medium mode, I could see you being able to use this for a long period of time before having to recharge. I will say that previously during testing, I did get a clog because these peanut shells were too big, and what I saw was this red light pop up, and basically the vacuum tried to deal with it on its own. It tried to increase the power temporarily to hopefully suck that blockage out. It did not work, and that light showed up, and basically it stopped itself from overheating. So I took it apart, and sure enough, I saw a peanut shell that was stuck in there. So that was my fault. I was trying to vacuum up something that was way too big, but it's good to know that this machine will self-protect itself from overheating, just in case you guys do what I did. All right guys, so that is basically it for the review, test, and unboxing of this cordless vacuum. I've been very impressed by this thing, especially when it comes to all the accessories and features that it offers. But most importantly, this thing has a very, very powerful motor. It's a little bigger than some of the other ones that I've tested in the past, but it definitely is worth it because we have so much extra power and a very high quality rotating brush head on this vacuum. So that is it for my full review of this cordless vacuum.